Have you ever been criticised about your music in a way that left you deflated, or even just angry? In this video, I'll show you how to accept criticism calmly so that it doesn't distract you into playing worse afterwards. And I'll even show you how to use that criticism to improve your playing in the future, whether it was intended helpfully or not. In your journey as a musician, you're bound to encounter criticism at various points along the way. And some of this might come from people who are making comments with no idea that you're going to interpret them as critical. Some of it might be from people who are just trying to be helpful, pointing out things to help you improve. And some of it, although hopefully not very much, might be from people who are just setting out to be nasty. Now, no matter where it comes from, criticism can hurt, and it can hold you back because it can put you in a defensive mood, which is really not helpful, or it can knock your self-confidence perhaps. And these negative impacts don't necessarily have to come from criticism that's intended to be nasty. It could be very well-meaning, but the person has just expressed themselves really badly and it comes out much more critical than they intended. Or maybe actually there's nothing particularly critical in the words at all, but there's something in your mind that you latch on to and you just attach a really hurtful negative meaning to it. And being able to handle criticism really well is a very important part of mental toughness. It's going to help you play well in the moment. It's going to help you grow as a musician. And perhaps most importantly of all, it's going to have a massive impact on how much you really enjoy playing music. So if you've got an example of where you've handled criticism particularly well or even particularly badly, just let me know in the comments. So what exactly does it mean to react to criticism in a skillful way? And the key here is not to take it personally, to make it something objective. Because when the criticism is personal, that's when our feelings and emotions and the negative reactions get in there. When it's purely objective, then this is something that we can deal with in a rational manner. We can use as helpful information and not let it interfere with how we're feeling about everything. So how do you do this in practice? And the key is to make sure that you separate the comments about any actions or results from anything about you as a person. So if someone is talking about a mistake that you made, be very clear that the criticism is about the mistake. It's about the action that you did. It's about the result that came out. It is not about I'm a terrible musician or I'm useless. And this is where we tend to mix things up because most of the time the criticism is very purely an objective thing. You missed this note here. And we are the ones who then interpret something on that and see it as a judgment on ourselves. Once you can learn not to do that, to take a step back and say, what exactly is being criticized here? And what action, what outcome is it? What objective thing? Then you can take the next step. And the next step is to say, what can I do to address this in the future? So it might be, I need to go away and practice this section a little bit more. Okay, that's totally fine. That's something that I can do. We've removed the criticism from me as a person. It's not that I'm useless or I'm a terrible musician. It's that I made a particular mistake and now I can think, well, what is it that I need to do to change that mistake? Now, there may be some times when the criticism is actually expressed in a way that is directed at you as a person. And in that case, what you want to do is to dig back into why that criticism is being made. So if someone says, oh, you're useless at playing rhythm, that initially seems like it's directed at you, but the reason it will have been directed at you is because of something that happened. So you can ask that person who's criticizing you, well, what can I do to improve that? And they might then say, well, if you can come in on the beat every time, or something like that, then you've got something objective that you can work on. You've found a way to take that criticism that initially seems to be very damaging about you as a person and turn it into something where you can then go through that step again. Okay, what is the objective thing that's being criticized? What is it that I need to do to work on it? And off you go. You can do that. It's within your control and it doesn't judge you as a person. Now, I definitely recommend watching my video on mental toughness as well. And you should also check out my free ebook, Unshakable Foundations, which shows you how to develop the 9 key mindsets that the top performers all share. And these are really important for dealing with criticism as well. I'll put a link to it in the description below. I've been Mark Morley-Fletcher. Thanks so much for watching. Please click below to subscribe if you haven't done so already. And while you're down there, why not hit the share button as well to pass this video on to other musicians. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.